time for another newscast here at DHS. We're starting things off with a big honor for one student who has been selected to be part of an editorial board for an art magazine. Sophomore Ellie Calloway was one of a few students from Doniphan who applied to be on the board for the publication called Here. It's a magazine that publishes student artwork, writing, and poetry. Most of the students who serve on the editorial board are from much larger schools, and it's quite an honor for a student from a small rural school to be selected.
Me personally, I think it's pretty cool because everybody there was all from Notre Dame High School, and only one other kid was from Jackson High School, and I was the only kid from Doniphan High School, obviously. We learned about the importance of art publications and how to interpret art, and we go through things submitted from students all over southern Missouri, and we make a newspaper with all of those. It can be writing, such as poetry or stories, and it can be artwork, such as painting, watercolor, drawing, or anything else.
If you would like to check out the magazine, you can go to the website address listed on your screen. Another congratulations goes out to the Student of the Month for November. They are freshman Alyssa Bennett, sophomore Cooper Jackson, junior Bailey Honeycutt, and senior Mia Ball. Voting starts today for this month's Loaded with Character trait. The trait this time around is trustworthy, which is a person who is worthy of confidence and is a dependable person. You should have an email to nominate one classmate who you think fits this trait the best. Winners will be announced during 5th hour on the Friday we get out for Christmas break. Seniors, a reminder that your senior pictures and recognition forms are due for the yearbook next Friday. See Miss Austin Moore if you have any questions. And there's another deadline coming up as well for Beta Club members. Thursday is a deadline to sign up for Beta Convention competitions for the state conference in March. See Mrs. Reedus if you haven't already signed up for your categories. That's it for news and announcements this week. Here's Peyton with sports.
Thanks. The Dogs kicked off their basketball season on Saturday at the Current River Challenge in Van Buren. They played the Winona Wildcats, and if you were at this game, you got your money's worth. It was a back-and-forth game that ended in a tie at 59 and went into overtime. In the first overtime, Cameron Barton posts up and puts the Don up by 2. Winona would have the last possession down by 3 and would tie it back to send it into a second overtime. It was the Dons that found themselves down by 2 in the final seconds of the second overtime. Cam Barton missed 2 free throws, and J.D. Burton would get the rebound and hand it off to Big Killian, who ties the game again with just seconds left. In the third overtime, the Dons were down by 1 when J.D. would hit a big three-pointer to put the Dons up for good. The final score was 83-78. On Tuesday, they made a trip to Malden for another hard-fought game, and the Dons won their second game by a score of 60-58. They will have the first home game of the year on Tuesday against Greenville. The Donuts started the season on Monday at the Lady Dog Classic in Van Buren. They faced Bunker in the first round, and they came out firing from the start. Grayson Kirby hit a three-pointer to start the game. Later, Brooklyn Klepsick hit a little jump shot in the paint for 2 more. They would go on to win the game by a score of 68-36. On Tuesday, they played Liberty in the semifinals. They didn't waste any time taking an early lead with shots like this one from McKenna Monahan in the paint, and a three-pointer from Brooklyn later in the first quarter. The Donuts won that game 60-52 and went on to play Van Buren in the championship game last night, and here's the score of that game. And finally, it was announced this week that 5 football players were named All-Conference for the Southeast Missouri Central team. Congratulations to Luke Emmons, Trenton Anders, Joel Ryans, Lorenzo Rios, and Caden Buffington for making the team. And that's for sports this week. Here's your weekend weather forecast.
It's the first weekend of December, and Saturday will be the better of the 2 days with mostly sunny skies and a high of 46. There's a chance of some rain on Sunday with a high of 43 and more rain on Monday, but the high will jump back into the 50s. That's our newscast for this week. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.